Tim Thornton, drummer, singer, songwriter, multi-instrumentalist, charismatic, enigmatic. The man whose rhythmic abilities have been so influential that he has lent his name to many of today's percussion instruments, including the timbales, timpani, and of course, the Tim-Tims. What is the secret behind the talent, behind the man, who has been honored as Time magazine's Man of the Year? What mysteries are to be found in that capacious cranium? We know that Tim's ancestors may be traced back to the primordial ooze, where millions of teeming single-celled organisms, the Timibi, swarmed fruitlessly in search of a beat. From these murky origins, the ascent of Tim has been the subject of many a fierce academic debate, including the controversial Clarke's theorem, which suggests that alien intervention guided a direct ancestor of Tim to invent the first tool, a drumstick, and thus the sound of drums could be heard across Africa for the first time in human history. However, the general consensus is that this is unlikely. Most professors of Timology agree, however, that Tim's lineage includes many great men and women, such as philosophers, kings, and 16th century supermodels. Finally, the birth of the Tim of Thornton, who from an early age seemed to know exactly where he was going. Here we see the young student, neglecting his studies to focus on his beloved music. It wasn't long before Tim formed his first band, who were an instant success. They gradually mutated into the seminal rock outfit, the Rolling Tims, and soon the world's most respected musicians were seeking out this most singular of talents. He was a sometime member of Frank Zappa's Mothers of Invention. He even auditioned for Led Zeppelin, but decided instead to carve out a solo career for himself as the proto-punk legend Timmy Pop. Unfortunately, a subsequent experimental release, Tim's heavy concept album, laden with psychedelic musings, alienated many of his growing army of fans, and the downward trend soon developed into an ever-deepening spiral, as a collaboration with some insane Scandinavians went awry due to a problem with his name, and the associated board of British travel agents, which led to his replacement by someone hairier. He became little more than a session musician, and, after touring with a New York New Wave outfit, he told the press that he felt like a prostitute. Always eager to please, the New Musical Express ordered him a high-class hooker. "That's not what I meant," he exclaimed, and poured what was left of his royalty savings and his disillusionment into the bitter Tim for Sale. It was a disastrous flop, and with nothing else to lose, Tim sold out entirely, changing his name to become a Vegas crooner, the substantial earnings from which allowed him to release a highly successful dance floor classic, which in turn inspired the formation of his new disco-tastic project, Boney Tim. After a brief flirtation with a new romantic combo, he was soon setting the trend everywhere, while others could only watch and follow. The culmination of his zeitgeist-defining efforts being arrived at with the formation of his new supergroup, Tim Machine. So, what next for the man who Phil Collins confessed had taught him everything? Will he finally settle down and marry? Or is he content with the strings of scandalous affairs with the likes of Claudia Schiffer, Posh Spice, Kate Moss, and Lorraine Kelly. I know I would be. One thing's for sure, Tim's story is far from done, and we look forward to whatever surprises he has in store for all our futures. So join us as we continue to celebrate 30 years of Tim at Tim Age 2003.